All right, let's talk about a strategy that is so powerful and honestly so overlooked that it can build a literal competitive moat around your local business. We're talking about the 1 Mile Radius Playbook, a game plan that's all about leveraging the power of what is right outside your front door.
So I've got a question for you. Are you pouring a ton of money into complicated digital ad campaigns, fighting for clicks and impressions, all while totally ignoring the gold mine that is literally right outside your door? I'm talking about your actual neighbors.
And that gets us to the heart of this whole thing, the core principle we call the neighbor advantage. Look, this is a systematic, boots-on-the-ground approach that just flips the script on how we usually think about marketing. Forget casting a wide net. We're going to focus laser-like on your immediate vicinity.
I want you to really think about this simple, powerful truth. In an emergency, proximity wins. Every single time. When a pipe bursts, when there's a flood, your customer does not care about some fancy website for a company that's 20 miles away. They care about one thing and one thing only. Who can get here the fastest? This, right here, is your ultimate unfair advantage.
So, why is this strategy so darn effective? Well, as we're about to see, it builds a genuine competitive moat around your business. And it all comes down to 3 key advantages that digital marketing, it just can't touch.
First up, the most obvious one, and the most powerful. It's speed. This is your knockout punch. Being able to look a neighbor in the eye and say, "We can have a truck at your door in 3 minutes?" That is a value proposition that no distant competitor can ever match. It transforms you from just an option into the only logical option.
The second advantage? It's what we call the relationship moat. Think about it. There's a huge difference between being a faceless ad online and being a familiar face, a real person. Your competitor across town can't just drop by with coffee. They can't build that face-to-face trust. And that level of trust, it's almost impossible for anyone else to break. You stop being an ad and you become a neighbor they can count on.
And finally, there's the cluster effect. You have to think of your local business park like an ecosystem, right? Every single business there shares vendors. They all have a landlord, a plumber, an electrician. So each neighbor you connect with isn't just one contact. Oh no. They are a node, a connection point, to dozens of other high-value contacts. Your referral network becomes incredibly dense, incredibly fast. Okay, so you get the why, you're on board, but now the question is, who? Who specifically should you be connecting with? Let's break down the key players you're going to find the moment you just step outside your own front door.
First, let's look at your direct neighbors. This table here shows their hidden strategic value. You might see trade contractors and think, yeah, prime referral source, and that's true. But look a little deeper. That auto body shop down the street, they have a direct line to a whole network of insurance agents. See? Every single business in your immediate area holds this kind of untapped potential.
And next up, we've got the community hubs. Think of these places as the eyes and ears of your entire neighborhood. The manager at the local coffee shop, the person who runs the local bank branch, they know every other business owner in the area. By becoming a regular, by building a real relationship here, you are plugging yourself into the central nervous system of your local economy.
All right, this is where the rubber meets the road. We've gone over the why and the who. Now let's talk about the how. And this isn't some complex year-long marketing plan. This is your game plan for what you can literally start doing tomorrow.
Here it is, the Neighbor Walk Protocol. It's just 4 simple steps. First, you map it out. Just know who's there. Second, and this part is absolutely crucial, be a customer first. Go buy their lunch, get your oil change there. You have to lead with value, not with an ask. Then you do a low-pressure drop-in, and eventually you invite them into your world with an open house. It's simple, it's repeatable, and man, is it effective. Feeling a little nervous about that first drop-in? I get it. Here's your script. Use this word for word. It is so disarming, it's honest, and it's completely non-threatening. You're not there to sell anything, you're just a neighbor saying hello. And that simple opening, it changes the entire dynamic of the conversation from a sales pitch to a real community connection.
And finally, this is the pivot. This is how you go from being the friendly face to their essential problem solver. By giving them your direct cell number and making a concrete promise that's based on your proximity, you solidify your value in their mind. You've just become their personal 911 emergency contact.
So that's the playbook. It's simple, it's high touch, and it builds a competitive advantage that money just can't buy. So the only thing left to ask yourself is this: who will be the first neighbor you go out and meet tomorrow?